Hey, trans youth. I'm terribly sorry I missed you last week, but it seems like the other girls have it all set up, and hopefully we will be back to one video 7 days a week, every week, for a new question starting every Monday. Which brings us to the next topic, what your friends thought of your transition. And what I mean by that is before, during, and after. How did it differ from your family? I know that we've kind of done this before as a how did your friends and family react? But I wanted to focus a little bit more on contrasting the two. What time is it? It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I just spent the last 2.5 hours, in addition to this editing time that's to follow, doing this video in 4 interviews. I actually called people, woke them up, and asked them what they thought of me before transition, when I came out, shortly after, and now. And I managed to get 2 friends to answer and then 2 of my family members to answer. The first question is, what did you think of me before transition?
I don't know, you were just a friend. And well, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, you were my best friend, but, like, I didn't think of you in any particular fashion. Like, oh, well, this is definitely your defining characteristic besides my nerd friend. And we would play Yu-Gi-Oh cards and get picked on because we were so cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I do not want YouTube to know you played Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
So, to the world, I say now, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards. How's that for you?
I'm very proud of you.
When I first came out, how did you react?
Alright. Well, seeing as I found out, like, at midnight at my aunt's house on Facebook, I was kind of pissed off. Don't get me wrong, I have a very Mormon family. And so it was a little weird at first. I mean, I wasn't like I was going to totally ditch you, but, I mean, it was just something I had to get over because I'd never been in that situation before, especially growing up in freaking Utah. At first, I asked you to lay off it a little around me because I was just not used to it. And sorry about that. So I didn't know how to respond to it. Looking back on it, I didn't respond very well, of course.
I don't want to say it like really mean or anything like that, but how did you kind of like get over it?
No, you can say it that way. How did I get over it? No, I think it was when we were actually, we went to a Halloween party and you dressed as a woman. And I was like, well, I guess this isn't so bad. I think I was still getting over, like, some of the things, too. Like, I noticed that the differences between guy Sam and girl Sam. Well, one noticeable difference that particularly stands out in my mind is when I and another friend of ours had come over when we would watch Big Bang Theory. How technically guy Sam was like this computer whiz, and then girl Sam was having trouble finding the videos folder. And this other friend and I looked at each other and we were like, Sammy's a ditch.
A ditz? Thanks so much.
We said Sammy's a ditch. And Sam's really good at computers. What a weird quirk. It seems you may have been overcompensating for all the years you weren't able to be you. So it was all coming out at once and it threw people off.
And the last question is, what do you think of me now, after everything?
I think you're a bitch. I'm forever embodied on YouTube saying, bitch, my grandmother's gonna kill me. No, I'm just kidding. Now that I said it's gonna be funny, people are gonna be like, wow, what a lame cram joke. Now I'm gonna desubscribe. It's a lot easier to be around. Alright, talk to you later.
Thank you for doing this for me.
No problem.
So Lisa is one of my favorite people. She's actually like a sister to me. She's very, very close to me, but she's not exactly blood-related family. I didn't spend my entire life with her. And in contrast, I wanted to call a friend who didn't have that much of a connection to me, but still had an impact from my transition. So I called my friend Peter. Peter is currently a gender-fluid person. I'm not exactly too sure exactly how he is identifying, but it's genderqueer, gender fluid, something along those lines. He was very affected by my transition because he was there for my first RLE. What did you think of me before I transitioned?
I kind of knew you, but you were always kind of on the periphery of my interaction. And then as I began to know you better, so why are you you? I don't know. You were always like kind of awkward, and I always thought you were a really cool kid. And I would see occasion and be like, that is an odd individual, but he's really cool. And I feel, but we always had some distance geographically, and we just didn't get together that much. Cons were only so frequent, and you didn't come until later.
What was your opinion when I first transitioned, when you first found out?
I mean, you were the first trans woman I interacted with significantly, and I walked away from that experience with something that I already intellectually knew. Trans people were not different, but hadn't really had that experience of seeing that you were different, yet at the same time you were the exact same person. But you seemed happier, you seemed that awkwardness from before seemed to, as you came to your transition, our friendship deepened, and I saw you as more authentic you. Initially, it was a little strange for me, but as I went to that experience, it really allowed me to confront my internal transphobia and come to terms with that. And I think knowing you as a friend and going through, seeing that experience and seeing the trans people are normal allowed me to give myself permission to explore my own transness more.
The next question is post-transition. A little bit after I had come out, did your opinion of me change?
I don't think my opinion of you as a person significantly changed, but I feel like through that period I got to know you better as a friend. So in that way my opinion of you changed. But once I went through that experience of you of normalizing transness, I think I just began to know you better as a friend.
The last question is, what do you think of me now?
I don't know, I see you as a really strong and inspiring woman. It's, the transition I've seen in you, there's been the physical, but I've seen you really come out of this as a mature, powerful woman who I can look at and say, this is a trans woman I know who inspires me. Which is really powerful, which has been really powerful for myself coming through my transition, and I see you act in the trans community and think you can kick a lot of ass.
Okay, thank you for doing this.
Yep.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
I really like Peter. He's pretty cool, and I thought that was actually a rather good interview. We're actually supposed to go to another camp or whatever to advocate, and I'm actually really excited to do it with him. He's an absolutely fantastic person. Now, in contrast, those were my two friends. I wanted to tag a few of my family members onto it. The first one is Chris. This is how he reacted. What did you think of me before my transition?
You were you. So before you transitioned, you were just like a younger brother. You were you. You were the kid dorks. Our family's like one of those people who just people do what they do because that's how they are. You were my younger brother. You were awesome. You were da-da-da.
What went through your head when you first discovered I was transitioning?
It was your choice, and I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm not going to judge you. Everybody's got their own thing and should embrace it however they want. For everybody, it's their choice, and nobody should be able to or should hold anything against anybody for it.
What did you think of me about 6 months after I transitioned.
Not much different from before. I mean, you're still a sibling, regardless of the gender change. You're still a good person. You haven't exactly changed. You haven't become like a total bitch or anything.
What do you think of me now?
I would say you're still roughly the same as you were before. It's cool that you chose your path and then stuck to it instead of letting everybody else bring you down and cancel your decision because of that. A lot of people would just, you know what? People are just too pressuring, blah blah blah, and it. Alright.
Alright, see ya.
Later.
Thanks again. Love you.
Okay, good.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
I love you, brother. If you're watching this, you're a good person. This is patting you on your head. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Cody is basically my adopted brother. He was friends with Chris since 6th grade or whatever, which means he's been in my life since I was in 3rd or 4th. It's a really, really close relationship, and he basically is my brother, and I consider him so. Cody has actually gone through a sexual transition of his own, and he's gone through the whole sexuality thing with bisexual and gay. What did you think of me before transition?
You weren't ever biologically my family, but you always felt like the little brother that I never had. Like I was around for you sometimes, or I took up for you sometimes.
What did you think the first time you heard that I was transitioning?
I wouldn't say I was shocked in a bad way, but I was surprised. I would say there was shock value, but not like you disgraced everyone you know type shock value.
How did you feel after it had all kind of set in, like 6 months after I transitioned or whatever?
In the beginning, it was tough to, I guess, adjust accordingly from hanging out with your unbiological little brother to your newly found younger sister. But after it all settled in, I was completely happy with it. I'm really excited that you had become a new you that you wanted to be, that you weren't living in like a hollowed out exterior shell that you weren't comfortable in day to day. It's been really nice to watch you as each day progresses pursue something that really makes you happy, even against all the opposition. The strength is empowering.
What do you think of me now?
I think now I see you as that little sister now, as opposed to that little brother. In the beginning, it was kind of scary and kind of sketchy, just because you didn't really know what to expect. No one else really knew what to expect. There were a lot of unanswered questions. How I go about this, how I finish it, what are my benchmarks, what are my standards. Now it's all set in, figured out, and it's nice. In the beginning, I was scared for you because it's tough. It's going to be tough. It's no longer leading a normal black and white lifestyle. You're taking on something completely different, and there's going to be a lot of roadblocks along the way. And at first, it scared me because I didn't know what to expect for you. It makes it a lot tougher to go to the store and buy a gallon of milk, that's for sure.
Thank you, everyone who has done this, and especially Cody. He's a fantastic person, very well spoken, and he's really, really accepting. He helps me out in a lot of places. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Peter, very much. As friends, I love you guys. Thank you. Family members, Chris and Cody, I love you to the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for doing this, especially at 1:30 in the morning. I know I kind of took a little bit of time outside of your sleep schedules / wow schedules. And to all of the viewers of Trans Youth, I hope you enjoyed this video and look forward to seeing what the other 6 days are doing. Thanks, guys. Bye.